Yeah, but we didn't. This is
But he called
bank statements.
right before you. 7 o'clock, call the meeting to order. We already did the pledge of allegiance at the beginning of our first meeting, so that's out of the way. Robert is absent tonight, so I guess it's my turn. One last time. Maybe.
One last time.
Is there approval of the agenda?
Just to add the resolution for the levy.
Yeah, got it.
That
Yeah,
agenda, with that addition, I'll make a motion to approve.
is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Thanks.
Carried. Approval of the minutes. We got the August 12th regular meeting and the August 27th. Meeting. Are any corrections or additions to those?
No. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the 12th and 27th of August meetings.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We have the approval of the bills. Are there any questions on the bills or anything? I didn't see anything myself.
Have we paid Chambers everything?
No, there is a check in there for the first half. And if you notice on there, yeah, there's some extra stuff that we had to do the water line by the garage and then the sewer down there.
Okay.
Some of that we're gonna reimburse. What they're for,
So
emergency.
the emergency labor repair for the sewer where Excel damaged. I know last month council stated they weren't gonna submit a claim to Excel. It's $3,600. If you're okay with that, I would like to submit that claim. And see if we can get something back from Excel.
Sure.
So.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that,
Yeah.
I agree.
But the county garage one,
The county garage one is,
that boring companies should pick that up. They're the ones that
the
caused.
line
it.
was not marked.
Oh, there's,
So what I found out is that, so their curb stop for that building is like a foot off of the building. So between the curb stop to the main that's longer. It's kind of flipped for how it usually is for a house. And what I found out is after 2006, technically I should have marked that. I just don't know how I would have, but I guess technically I was supposed to, according to the locate laws and regulations. So
then that's ours.
yeah, if it was between the curb stop and the house, it would be, or in the shop, it'd be different. But like I said, this is kind of a weird case where the curb stop it's 10 feet off the building, and between the curb stop and the road is like 40 feet. So it's kind of a weird thing, but.
You make sure that's on your maps. You
Yes.
get that added onto your map, so. Know next time.
Yep.
Sounds good. Are there any other questions? If not, someone want to approve the bills? Make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll make the motion to approve the bills.
There a second?
I'll second it.
Let's see, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. I see that Chambers bill is in there at 71,000 or something like that.
Yeah, that's portion just for the repairs down there was 66,811.
Yeah. We do have, because that sewer is street. That storm sewer. Oh, that's a,
This
never
is a
mind.
backyard,
That's-
so this is
that's a-
sanitary
that's a
sewer.
Sanitary sewer.
Yep,
We got, we should have some future improvement money that you
yes,
can.
and if I'm
take.
not mistaken, I think that might have been,
Maybe that's where you're gonna take it. I just.
I'm
wanted
not
to
sure, yeah.
Make sure that you realize
Um,
that there should be some future improvement money there.
I know right now, the sanitary sewer the future improvement is everything for the bonding. That's where I've been putting all of that.
Oh, okay.
For that, all the bonding information, like the engineering fees and all that, that's all, I
Yeah.
put that into the future improvements.
Okay. Sounds good. Community comment. Anyone have something for the community? Like to speak? Oh. Oh, okay. I guess I didn't see it. Oh, yeah, you do have one in here. Okay. All right. We can do it now, can't we? We can do it right now if you want to. And you can get the heck out of here. So. White shed was new. What's the scoop here? I don't have.
So basically, this is for replacing, he didn't, all he was doing is taking his other shed, putting a new shed where the old shed was. So Race, do you wanna jump in on this one?
Grace, maybe you're
What
gone.
sorry,
Tom
that's Jason.
Bronz's permit?
Oh, he moved it off of where it was and he just relocated onto his property in a different, not in the, I guess, contentious zone, we'll call it. He just moved it to a different part of his yard.
Does it meet all the setbacks?
Yes, yep, it does.
Can I see something?
Yeah.
About this one? So what I did is I took an old shed. It was an old shed and I replaced it with a new shed. I took that shed and I moved it behind the new shed. That's the shed that I didn't have a permit. And the problem that she had was she thought it was too close to the property line. I don't know. She doesn't know. But nevertheless, it's gone. The
Oh,
old shed is gone. I moved it out, tore it down and Chuck Schudy's got it, so we'll never see it again.
okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's very neighborly of you. You know, that just solved an awful lot of, yeah. Yeah, that's very neighborly of you, and I thank you for that. Okay, so, very good. Did anybody else see any problem?
No.
I want to make a motion to approve, Tom. This would be GTO 924. Someone wanted to make a motion to approve? Is
Make the motion to approve.
there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried.
We sent-
Okay.
sign that. You have to go. Yeah. So does he have to get that right away or?
I'll either, Brace will drop it off or I'll get the permit to you tomorrow. So or if you wanna stop and pick it up.
That permit is before my records, right?
Basically, yes, yep.
You don't have to hang it up for a while or something.
We'll get it to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
You can frame it, hang it on your wall. if you-
You can come back to the rest of the permits later. huh?
Yeah.
Let me know. you get-
Real quick on the community comment, I just wanted to ask, like, if there was
No,
an issue, I guess, the other night. So, let's just say hypothetically, that there are certain people that like to walk early in the morning. Okay?
Yeah.
And they're walking by houses
Yep.
and then dogs start barking.
Yep.
Is that the walker's problem? Or is that the homeowner's problem?
I don't think I can answer that question for you. I don't know if that question's ever been asked.
It's
I
hypothetical.
think that'd be a Kennedy problem.
I saw that come across Facebook.
Is the dog outside or in their house? Both. One is outside, which is where he saw the complaint. The others are inside. But they all started barking.
Unless,
Potentially.
I guess I would answer that starting off, unless the dog that started barking
The walking dog.
keeps barking, barking, becomes a nuisance bark. I don't see anyone as a problem. If their dog wakes them up because a person walks by, I can't see that's the person walking by's problem either. I guys don't believe that would be
Or
an issue.
we can't control when people go out and walk,
No,
when, where, or how. I
as
mean,
long as if they're on the sidewalk or the street or whatever, whatever there's available, no.
Well,
Dude, I'm out at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning walking a dog.
is there any city ordinances, like a curfew? Like
There's a quiet time, but that doesn't mean you can't walk your dog.
that's on your own property?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't not supposed to run like a jackhammer.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 10 o'clock or something, I
Yeah.
don't know, or midnight.
Have a rager after.
And there's a habitual barking
Yeah,
ordinance with habitual dog barking.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just wouldn't think that it would be, but I said I wasn't gonna answer, but I think we did.
That's out of the control of
mhm.
what
Yeah.
people have a right to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose if you go by and sound an air horn, I mean,
Mhm.
people go nuts, so.
There's no way you could control dog walking time.
No,
Mm-mm.
no.
They were actually walking a dog or they're just walking. I know you walk, Just walking.
It doesn't make any
Oh, okay.
difference, really. You're just doing your thing. Everybody has a different schedule.
Work
Yeah.
schedule,
Oh.
sleep schedule, yeah.
Okay, anything else? Sheriff's Department, was there a report in here? I didn't see it.
Yeah, you're
on the new agenda.
it's on the new one. You want mine?
Oh, it's right
You got
here.
it?
No. On the new
The
one.
new one I gave you,
we have some red on
all your extra papers I sent out.
One car accident, no. Fireworks disturbance, criminal damage, civil, animal complaint, bite,
Another one?
suspicious
Another-
circumstance, harassment, and directed patrol. 60 hours.
Sure, there'll be another one or two of them again this month.
Oh, yeah.
Not going. From one certain house.
So. Anything else for the sheriffs? I have to say, I've seen them, like I said, I'm up at 2:30, 3 o'clock walking a dog too, and I see them all, they're driving around.
Cops.
Mhm.
Fire department. Chief Clamor says we had 6 calls. 1 car accident, 1 medical rescue, 1 lift assist, 2 medicals, and 1 mutual aid. Anything else for the fire department? Streets update. Okay, then we got the rest of these. Start off with these building permits here. There's one that I have. And one. And well, you see, got copies of the other one there. GT08 and GT07. On the fence. And there's a. Grace, you still there?
Yep.
Is there any problem with any of these, either of these, that you know of? I think you signed them already, right?
The only thing is with the fence is they built that before getting a permit. Now, obviously, they turned the permit in retroactively before the meeting, but the fence was completed before any permit was filled out. So it's up to you guys on what you want to do there as far as letting it go, or if you want to do anything past that. So
So does it meet the setbacks and stuff though? Where they got it now?
yeah,
That's
yep.
a Keenan penalty because they already did it before they,
Yeah,
okay.
It does fit the need. It was done prior to a permit being filled out.
right.
This is side lot or backyard or what?
So they replaced part of an existing fence. It basically between their house and their garage, they replaced an existing fence on one side and they added one on the other side to box that in.
But really the existing fence, they wouldn't have needed a permit for anyway.
Yeah, it was just they added that
They
other
added the other,
side to
yeah.
box it in.
Okay. All right. Have you any-
No issues with property lines? You already asked that, Tom? Okay.
Everyone, okay?
Yep.
With them? Anyone want to make a motion to approval? 07 and 08?
I moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Yeah. Here, the backyard sanitary sewer addition update, I guess, here.
I think Joe submitted something for that.
Yeah, I
Just
put
as
it
a,
in your packet. Or the additional one that you guys had sitting there, on what. Just said, the additions. The top star said Race asked me to provide it. Basically, I copied his email into a document and printed it out.
basically at this point, the plan is they'll be done with, everything by the end of this week outside of the work to the south, obviously.
Good.
But everything else should be wrapped up by the end of the weeks. WW Blacktop should be patching in that road sometime midweek or end of week. But everything should be completed 100%.
Okay. Is there anything we need to do regarding this? No, right?
We've already made the motion to move forward.
We did that, right? Yep.
Yeah, they're working on getting the title search
Right.
for the easements for the
Right
property.
here. You're gonna have it back. I found mine. Sorry, Scott. All right. Then all we got the patching and sealing business.
So Sue has some pictures. I don't know where those ended up. There she has some pictures of some areas that, as far as larger patching areas, we don't have a whole lot.
Pictures are up here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
We don't have a whole lot of areas that can be kind of band-aided with a patch. For the most, I mean, we came out of the winter pretty well. There wasn't a lot. As for those little holes in the seal coat, the county has called a Dura patcher that they're going to be taking through in the next couple weeks, and they're going to fill those smaller ones. So there's a couple areas that I kind of highlighted for if we're going to be chip sealing next year, things that we might want to think about doing before the chip seal in order to not have to tear that up. I can't remember what order they're in, but there's a document that has
Yeah, I'm showing them the pictures right now. I'm just kind of going through them.
okay, on the WW blacktop sheet that you probably have, it's all those, minus the manhole. I added that on at the end or this morning.
So are we looking at a proposal here for the pictures? Or what are we looking at here?
Yes and no. It's more of I guess what you want to do as far as patching this year. Those are kind of I'm sure there's more that are out there. Some of them should be a little bit higher priority, I think, but
So that gate valve casting repair, that was the picture that was up there. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
there's two of
All right.
those.
Curb line just, that's that.
For that
picture.
one.
And
Catch basins in Middle Street.
Curb
cul-de-sac.
replacement. Blah, blah, blah.
What is this? This looks like that manhole race.
Yes,
Manhole on the intersection of Willard and Ewing.
yeah, it's kind of
The low
bumped
spot.
up. Yeah, it's
Okay, so the total here of what we have quoted is
10,700.
10,700. Thank you.
So is it beneficial to do all this fall yet, or are we talking everything for next spring?
it could be either. I mean, we don't have anything that's high priority these are just before we chip seal, these are things we're gonna want to look at so that if we decide that we wanted to do that in the future after we chip seal, we're not just cutting that up right away. So that we do have some time on some of this. I would say the one on that stretch across Minor Street, would probably be of that list would probably be the highest priority, but still that's not anything significant, so.
Okay, just so I understand though, these are tied to other projects already in town.
So
These
the,
prices.
yes, because they're gonna be coming to do that, that alleyway. So or the alley by the post office, so they'll take
Yeah.
care of all that at the same time.
I guess my point is though, is that these numbers are no good next year.
Right, yeah, probably.
So I mean, you'd have to throw this estimate away and start all over again, and they could be whatever they're gonna be. They could be the same or they could be a fourth more, you don't know.
And
I
I'm
don't know.
not, I'm not sure as far as yardage for, concrete, for any of the curbs that we do, we have to reach I guess we don't have to, but you want to reach a certain threshold so that we're not getting charged for a small load for a concrete truck. If we do any curbs, because then we're paying money that we could otherwise got concrete for just having that small load.
What do you recommend doing here? Just get it done? This quote? Have it
Sure.
over with?
I would say that's probably a good idea.
It's $10,700. I mean, it's not like it's 210,000.
It might be a little, it depends on where we end up, concrete wise. We might have to find, there's plenty of things, I mean, there's plenty of sidewalk squares we could replace to get to
Sure.
get past that small load. But that would be the
Sure.
one thing that could change.
Sure. All right, any further questions or talk or discussion, I should say?
The Empire one, that was the one that was down at the lagoon, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
That's next. Someone want to make a motion that we go ahead and have these folks do this?
WW one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, great. Now this next one here is the infiltration problem down there at the manhole.
Yeah,
What
it's
is it?
structured down at the ponds.
Yeah,
I think
I'm trying to remember what the actual name of it is. That manhole structure.
it used to be the old transfer station, right? Or
So it's just
lift
like a
station.
manifold or
Yeah, it's,
like a wet well or whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
But this is for, I guess Empire has some type of like, I think they call it a hydrophobic grout that they put in. It's kind of designed for manhole repairs.
If everybody remembers, this is the video that Race had. That when it was raining and it was high, the water was just pouring into our sanitary sewer into this structure. I mean, literally pouring, and I couldn't believe it. So
It also pours out if say the water isn't running high or the water is running over the top of the ground. If that structure is running high, it pushes it out too.
Sure,
So the bad water is getting out.
sure.
So this is down at the lagoon?
Yep.
Yes.
Down in that west corner. Where the line comes from the city.
Okay,
It comes into this structure first, and then it goes from there to the pump structure.
okay, all
And
right.
it's from there, it's pumped into the actual lagoons. And this is an old structure that was originally like, somebody said, was the original pump structure.
Okay, right.
You know. And so it's $4,750 to. keep it up. And it definitely would help our I
Yes,
on bad days.
yes. I'm making a motion to approve that.
Second,
Motion's been made, seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Okay. Anything else, Race?
I think there's something for mastic on there as well.
Yeah,
Blacktopping,
Yeah, it's from Nielsen.
Do we have something to see on that?
an estimate. More
Look
paper.
like that.
And
Want this?
it's right here somewhere. I know it's here. Yeah. Practice, David, amount. Don't know, not to exceed 17. Now, this is crack sealing?
No, this is that, if you remember, this was that, it's light crack sealing, but it's kind of like a different style. We had bargained to it last year.
Yep, I do
Um,
remember that. It's that rubbery, but I mean.
Yeah, it's like
It's doing the same thing as crack sealing on the streets?
yeah, except it kind of, it almost leaves like a better finish is how I kind of describe it. The road ends up smoother afterwards because it kind of fills in and self levels those cup cracks out. So you're taking out some of the bumps where you'd otherwise have cracks in them. And this is for
Right.
I painted all over town.
All the
So
white spots are on the road. But
he didn't measure square. When Bargain did it, they measured by the foot, and what Nielsen does is they go by weight, so they kind of estimate on what on how much, what the tonnage of mastic it would take to complete what we're doing. So he's a little bit of guessing on how much to go here. It could be a little bit less, but that 17 is a do not exceed amount, so that's the most it would be, but it could be potentially a little bit less, but I'm not sure.
sounds good. I just want to understand, this takes the place of our old original crack sealing.
There's kind of a,
But I mean, we're not gonna do crack sealing next year on this, on these same places before we pave on or whatever. I mean, this
no,
is
we
what
would
we're
not.
doing. This is the
Yes.
crack sealing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
so these are just spots you're catching throughout the city streets, correct?
Yeah, if you drive around anywhere, you'll see I got a bunch of pretty much by anything. What I did is I took the mower and I just drove fast over things, and if it bounced the mower, then that kind of told me that we needed to, that could be a potential spot that we could level out. So I have white paint all over the road everywhere.
Okay,
So
okay, good. Good. How does this compare? Well, it doesn't make any difference. It's better. That's not comparing apples to apples. Okay.
It's kind of the same stuff we did that $10,000 test last year.
Yep, there's something right in front of my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this stuff was supposedly a little better.
Yep.
my understanding is that the crack sealing is a little bit, it's crack sealing is typically cheaper per foot. But you're also kind of guessing how much to go in where this kind of self fills and levels, and just like I said, it almost leaves a better finish.
Yeah.
And not, we didn't have a super rough winter to test the stuff last year through, but from what we did have, it held up pretty well. And I know Robert said a couple times that it really smoothens out the road, especially where we have dips, and it protects. It's really good for protecting. Like Tom, that gate valve right in front of your house, we put that around.
Yeah.
And it's really good for protecting stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that was one of the tests there. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be working fine there, so. Do we want to proceed with this? Or what do we want to do?
So this will be done this fall?
Yes, it would be.
As long as the weather holds out.
The other thing, if this isn't necessarily, unlike WW or like the patching, this isn't tied to anything. So you could, if you wanted to, you could put it off to next year. But it would be nice. There's a couple manholes that I would like to not hit with the plow again this year.
Well, we put off seal coating this year, so we probably should try to do it, huh?
Sure. Well, we want this done before we seal coat it,
Yes.
like one way or another.
Yes,
It's bad
that's correct.
if we wait till next spring or whatever.
Yeah.
It might go up again,
And then we have trouble getting it done again.
you know.
It seems that's the way it works. Anything you don't do right away.
Gets worse.
Yes. What do you think? Somebody want to make a motion to go ahead with this or not?
I'll make a motion to approve to do this mastic on the spots that we got marked off.
On the quote from Nielsen.
Nielsen.
Is there a second?
No second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay. Thanks, Race. Anything else? Anyone else have anything for streets, Race? Okay, water sewer update. Do we have anything from Brian? That we need to read or worry about?
Well, the injection pumps are hopefully going to be in by the end of the week and ready to test. The tentative start date for test date is Monday. But they're having some issues with their supplier. Basically, as soon as they get the stuff, they're going to be here the next day, or if they need to work over the weekend, if they get it on Friday, they said they're going to be here this weekend to get it tied up. But that's kind of as far as we're at there. It's kind of the mercy of whenever they get their supplies, basically.
Okay. Unfinished business. We got employee reviews.
You asked me to table that at the last meeting.
We should probably just set a meeting and. Otherwise, we're not gonna get it done. You thought you did it already?
Thought we did it.
You did it this spring.
Oh, we have to do it again?
What you guys had said in the spring was you were gonna, yeah, you wanted to do one and then,
Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
so.
Just so you know, I'll probably be unavailable starting maybe as early as next week, helping with harvest, so. That will go into October, so if we set it later October, maybe,
You okay?
because that would be a separate personnel meeting, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep, yep. On which we all are, but I mean, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Like the third week in October?
Yeah, that's hard. to
Actually,
predict,
the
but
week in October,
see.
week of the 21st.
Yeah, that should probably work. Our meeting will be what, the 14th?
Mhm.
Set it for the 21st?
Sure. Works for me. 21st, October 21st.
Grace, does that work for you?
Maybe, probably. Are we doing it during the day like we did last time?
Probably.
How we
Yeah.
did?
That would work if we can do it
Later afternoon.
like, yeah, late afternoon.
3:30,
Yeah, it should work.
3:30-ish or something like that?
That works for me.
3:30?
Wait.
Okay.
No. Oh. Yeah, I could probably make 3:30. Be close.
Cause you guys will meet first, right? Like you did last time?
Say what?
You guys will meet first like you did last time and then we'll each go in whenever. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I'm just putting it in here right now. Otherwise, it's gone. Okay. Someone want to make a motion that do we need a motion for that meeting? Okay,
I don't think so.
I don't think, oh, if we do, we can do it next month. Great. Resolution 2024-13, a donation resolution. Someone want to make a motion that we accept this donation?
Yeah, since we already have the money in the checking account for a couple of years, yes, I'll make the motion to approve 2024-13.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Favor say aye. 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 Opposed, motion carried. Then we have the resolution regarding withdrawing that CD from the Minstar Bank for the amount of $130,902.52 and placing it in the
Sure.
The sewer fund.
sewer fund.
Yep.
Because it's, oh gosh, it says it right there. Deposit into the city sewer fund. Yep. Is there a motion to approve this?
Make the motion to 2014.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Yeah,
And you've got the resolution, this one
Oh, yeah.
that you added.
oh, yeah. Okay, I'll just read it. Resolution 2024-15, resolution approving proposed tax levy collectible in 2025. The levy for the general fund is $391,278, which is what it was last year and the year before. Just remember, we can't raise it. We can only lower it. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve proposed levy for 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Okay, we got some CD options to look at here now.
Yes, so the money that we put into the 4M fund is basically, it's an interest bearing checking account or savings account. So right now you can see on the statement that I put in your packets what it's right now. I don't know if council wants to leave it in there or if you want to put some of it into a CD through the 4M. And those are just some options if the city wanted to do something like that. The 300,000 that you see on the statement is still at LPL until December 31st, and then it will roll into the 4M fund.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So,
You know, comparing the rates from for our August statement, we're getting 5.176 interest on the savings account. And all the CD rates are lower than that, so.
and he was supposed to send me current rates this morning. I did not get anything from him. But he did tell me that it's going to start going down. That's why he said a lot of, the short-term CDs are the better paying right now.
Yeah.
So
Is the saving interest rate one gonna go down too?
he didn't say.
That would make or break.
Well, yeah. But I mean, and we could revisit this every month and, I can keep checking it every month and report back to council what it's doing and where the rates are at.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that. But I'm assuming, yeah, that these savings are the rates in the savings account are going to fluctuate as well.
Yes, I would make that same assumption.
So,
What do you think?
I say just let's leave it as is right now. That's my opinion.
Sounds good to me. Bonding project.
and then yes, when Representative Olson was on Zoom, he stated that the council needed to think about what is the lowest amount that the council is going to request, or that they can still do that bonding bill if we don't get the 10.8 million that we're asking. Remember, he had said, some cities will say we can do it, but we need, 8,000 or whatever. And then Race had talked to Joe Smith at Bolton and Meek and got a little more information on that. So we'll let Race explain that.
When I was talking to him today, he said that when he and Jeff had talked about it, they'd kind of settled on the fact that if they truly need when I talked to him before, it was kind of like they don't want to really necessarily give them a minimum number because that might be something that they drop back to, but then you also kind of risk getting nothing. When Bjorn was talking, he made it seem like it wasn't impossible to get that amount, and we're kind of meeting that same kind of set of stipulations that happened with Medelia getting all their money where they didn't have the bonding bill 1 year, and then the next year they added a little bit of extra money to make up for the year they didn't have it. So it's definitely possible to get that. When I was talking to them today, they said that the minimum negotiating thing that we should be looking at is the cost of the new water treatment facility in the well as the minimum, so we can for sure get that done if it doesn't all get funded.
I agree.
That's
I would agree, Jeff.
water filtration is probably top priority out of all of it.
Well, the whole new plant.
Right.
I mean, but you had a point of contact for both Representatives Olson's office, right, that you can have?
Yes.
I would just be curious when they were asking that question, does that mean, are we willing to drop a piece of the project, or are they expecting us to finance some of it ourselves?
My understanding is
We're
that
willing to finance some of it.
yeah, my understanding is that, like, say, what's the project is like 10.8 million. I think if you set your lower, or the number that you'd take at 8 or 9 with the expectation that you'd be funding the other half, I think you could still do that. But as a minimum, they were just saying for the water treatment plant, so that could for sure get done. But
You said it's a pretty good gamble that we'd get it all, though.
there's a chance, like I said, it's meeting the same thing that happened with Medelia getting that 13 million, is that they didn't have a bonding bill, and then they had one the next year they kind of made up for. But I don't know if I call it a good gamble. It's something that could happen. It's not impossible, but it might be something that's worth asking them, or asking the representative about what he thinks the odds are, what's going on, before you kind of make that decision to. Because the worst thing you could do is lose everything. And I don't know that's how possible that would be, but it would
You
slow
could
things down.
also ask for, say, 8 is the least, but we could still end up with 10.
Right.
Yeah, there's a chance
So
the whole
there's
thing
that
could get
as well.
funded.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what, and I don't know if it's possible. I was hoping Brian would have been here tonight. you know, do we really need to replace the water tower? If we put the water treatment down on that empty lot, is that too far to pump water to get it pumped up to the existing water tower or not, you know?
The water tower is not part of this.
No, I think it was included, wasn't it?
No,
No, it's
no,
not.
Grace and I talked about that too, and it's not. The
Oh,
water tower's not, it's just the well and the facility and then
never mind.
Halliday and
Okay.
all that.
And then the pond thing,
It'd be,
Yeah,
you'd be
this, the
looping,
holding.
the holding retention pond
Yep.
things. And
Okay. But I agree, at minimum is the water treatment.
Yeah.
That project.
But I'm assuming, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will definitely email his assistant, whoever that is.
Yeah, if we get.
Find out. I kind of wonder if it's not, yeah, if we'll be able to front the rest of it, if we have to front the rest of it, or
Yeah, I mean, if,
I don't know how that works.
I don't know, I'm not sure how it works in Minnesota either, you know, but it all depends what gets passed legislatively first. How big is the pool, and then who has the power to get the money first, so.
the other potential hiccup would be, in the event he doesn't get reelected, that would throw a pretty big wrench into everything as well. So,
Absolutely, absolutely.
but I don't know what the chances of that are. But it's something that potentially could happen.
If Bjorn.
So I think it's just something, we don't necessarily have to make that decision tonight, but I know he wanted us to let him know by the fall.
Right,
So I think we can table that as long as you guys can make a decision in
the
October.
way, what I gathered on that Zoom thing too,
Mhm.
he was, made it sound like, what is the city willing to pop up front on top of that?
that's.
Yes,
That's part of it, I think.
yes, yep.
That's where are we willing to dish out a 500,000 or a 1 million
Mhm.
bond ourselves?
Mhm.
I think that's how he kind of stated it, that it might help if we're willing to pay a little bit of that.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. But raising our, if we raise our rates, it will also help show that we're more interested in it as well. So,
Deal.
Well, if I figured it out right, it is possible. We could float $1 million with our contingencies. It is possible to do.
So what are you
We've done
saying?
it before, you know, so,
So you're saying our number should be 8 or 9 that we're looking for? Or-
I mean, it's like $38,000 a year to make that payment. Which is, well, what our contingencies bring in. For just 1 million.
mhm.
What was
I mean-
that? Can you remember what that, when they redid the ponds, what that
I
cost
don't
was?
remember, that was a
Long time
lot.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the city pretty much.
Yeah, basically the contingency paid that, and along with the rates.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, we didn't do a lot of other in those years, you know what I mean? But
that's the same.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
But
So,
that over there's, one of these days, it's just gonna fail.
yeah,
Then,
that's why it's almost seems like that would be the right thing to do is, okay, just prioritize that first.
Mhm.
And then I don't remember how much of that project that was. But it was a substantial amount of it, I
I
think.
think it was a good, wasn't it 700 or 7 million? I don't,
Something like that, because I know South Halliday was like 1.2.
yeah, and yeah, if you can find that so we can all,
No, I'll bring it
That-
to October's.
That would be
Yep.
helpful
yeah,
to be able to look at that. Because then you can kind of make some sort of a guess,
Yeah.
right.
you know, as to how much you think you could maybe come up with. You don't have to, but I mean, at least, you know.
That, and, yeah, and then if you can just ask, if they mean on that question, you know, are they looking for the city to fund portion of it to get the bulk, you know?
Right.
I mean, if we could get,
how much are we willing to
right, I mean, if we could
fund to get it all?
they give us the whole 9 yards, you know,
Right, right. Anything's possible.
That's all full, the main said, well, spend 1 million to get 10 million.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the game.
Yep.
That's exactly the
I think
game.
That's what I think he's looking at,
Yeah, that is exactly the game.
you know,
And it hurts, kind of hurts there for a while, but
and all in all, you're getting $10 million worth of work done for 1 million. It's,
it's such a cost saving.
Mhm.
And it's a short-term hurt for the benefit. It's a benefit that'll be here for 50, 60, 80
well,
years.
that one's over
you know?
100 years old.
Right, yeah.
It's a good investment.
So, you know, I mean, it's. Okay, that's what we'll do.
Okay.
Ordinance committee,
So do we want to try to get that going again, or do we want to have council decide what ordinances they want to bring and just let Kennedy do them?
Is there an ordinance committee?
there was
There was
Was or
um,
is?
a year ago.
almost, it's been over a year.
Yeah, but over
Yeah,
a year
two.
ago,
Yeah, it's been over a year and a half.
Yeah,
Why did it go away?
we just kind of
It
quit.
just kind of fizzled
Well,
out.
we had such a turmoil
Oh, okay.
and we were running into having like, I
Problem.
couldn't bear asking council to come to another 4 or 5 meetings when we were having a meeting a week.
Gotcha.
And it was, well, and it kind of, summer kind of hit
Yeah,
and things were getting busy. We kind of tabled it for a while and then it just never started again.
Yeah.
So
so in any case, why,
You have some highlighted stuff already.
I was gonna say that.
we went through, I think, majority of it, if not
Yeah.
the whole thing.
And I think you could probably go through those notes and pull out
Mhm.
what we seen as
Nuisance
items that need
and
some work,
problems.
and that would be the list to generate for Kennedy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
maybe I'll try to
Snowbird,
do that and then give it to council before I send it to Kennedy.
yes.
I'll try to,
Yeah.
oh, yep, okay.
Yes, because we might have
Yep.
additions and subtraction. Snowbird water shutoffs.
Last spring, we discussed this and once again, council said, we'll revisit it come the fall. Well, it's fall.
What are we doing now?
Right now, there is no policy. So this only came up because we have a couple in town that they shut off for the winter or they're gone for the winter, whatever. Normally, they shut it off at the curb and then they take care of, in their house or whatever. The one person, sometimes he gets a bill, sometimes he doesn't bother him, whatever. It came up because somebody had said, if I leave, my water gets shut off, then I don't get a bill. And that's kind of my thought, but we don't have a policy. So if right now the policy, there isn't one, so it would go to the $75 disconnect fee, the $75 reconnect fee. So if they're gone for 3 months and it costs them $100. Well, what's their water bill?
107.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of, do we want to just leave it at that? Some cities do
Well,
200, whatever.
if we move to actual billing actual gallons instead of the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody leaves for the winter, if we really would take no action, all they'd be paying is the contingency fee, which you can argue that, even if somebody's gone for the winter and we have a water main break that has to be repaired, that's what the contingency
That's
is
what it's
for.
There, a lot of cities just keep that, whether, even like those that are shut off that have no water, they're still paying that monthly contingency fee.
Mhm.
So, and even if
Even if it's a vacant house.
they wanted us to go in and turn it off at the curb, I would say, okay, but you still get charged the contingency.
Yep. So we could do, so it's just,
Are we doing that now?
right now, we're really not doing anything.
Yeah.
Not billing, and when we shut them off, they get no bill.
So right now, when we shut them off, they get no bill, like, the garage down there on North Holiday, when he's gone. He gets inactive, so if there was a leak, it would register, and then obviously that's how we would know. But yeah, he just doesn't get a bill. And then when they wanna turn the water back on, they call us, Race goes out there, turns it back on. That's the way it is, there's no fees. And that's how we did it last year with the other residents that were gone.
Yeah.
We kind of prorated and with garbage and
So
that
that
kind of thing.
would that be an ordinance change then?
Yes, we would have to put something, we would have to do something in the ordinance, or it could be a policy with the fees. And not necessarily, I don't know if it has to be an ordinance or if it would just be in the fee schedule.
would just be the fee schedule.
I
Actually,
wanna
probably
say
be in the
Kennedy
fee
said it was a fee
I think it would be in
schedule.
the fee schedule.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
So-
along with you there. I think that's kind of, I mean, you know, if you want it turned off and turned on, maybe 75 is too much. We could argue that. You know, maybe it should be 50. But I'm
It's
just
gonna
saying,
be the cost of one contingency fee if they're gone, say, 3 months or.
Then it's $35 or whatever the contingency fee is a month.
yeah,
If we go monthly billing, well, we take that 35 divided by whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Times if they're
So,
gone
yep,
5 months, it's gonna be.
Yep.
yeah. So I mean, it'd be up to them then if they want it turned off. It would,
So they
it's
could
it's an
either,
extra service really is what we're,
yeah, and some of them will charge like the $35. And then they
Top
still
of it.
pay, they'll get a $35, or I think Amboy does, is it 25 or 35? And that's just the fee. And then when they come back, they just turn it on and it's all included in that $35, but I'm thinking they still get the contingency fee, I don't remember. Oh yeah, Amboy
Well-
shut off charges $10 in the spring turn on fee.
so here's the decision then. As I see it, as I understand it, we can change it and make it so that they're billed the contingency fee while they're gone.
Mhm.
And not charge them to turn it on and turn it off.
right.
I would agree with that.
Or we can charge them to turn it on and turn it off. And not charge them the contingency fee.
Is it about the same or what?
It just depends on where the line item is
Depends
entered.
on- Yeah, it depends.
Part of accounts.
I like the money going to the contingency.
Contingency
I do
fee.
too. Yeah,
Yep.
it seems cleaner, better.
Yes, yeah.
And then it doesn't, we don't have to keep track of, well, he charged him, he didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that would just be a fee that we would start January 1
Correct.
again.
And that would just be, yeah,
But they're, yeah,
And you can
Schedule.
just, we can decide, we don't have to decide that night necessarily if it's 75 or 50 or,
they'll shut off the water before January though.
yeah,
Mhm.
most of them will, I'm sure. Most of them get out of Dodge at
Yeah.
Christmas or a little before.
And I know one has for years, just continues to pay the monthly, you know?
Mhm.
So because somebody goes, you know,
They can try-
somebody is there checking on their house and, you know, and they just
Yeah,
continue to
they
pay
wanna
their
make sure
minimum
they-
usage,
well,
yeah.
I mean, I would.
So,
Yeah.
yep. And some, yeah, drain everything out and whatever. So I will put that on October's agenda and try to get
Really,
that's
that-
gonna be a resolution then, right?
It's good insurance policy anyway, in reality, because if something
You're
ever
gonna change
did
the fee
freeze and
schedule?
breaks.
Or is that just? a-
Yeah, I suppose, might as well make it a resolution. sure.
I'll double check with Kennedy.
Yeah.
All right. Have we beat that one to death?
Think so.
Peter,
So-
that.
New business, copier.
So I had the printer, or the copy guy come out a couple weeks ago because the copier was jamming again. He fixed the part and then he told us that the printer is pretty archaic. And gave me some information. I put it in your packets about going through a state contract with a new printer. It wouldn't have, we don't have fax. We do get faxes in. We don't send faxes.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't work, but it scans, and so we just do scanning and emailing. So I don't know if that's something council wants to just take under advisement. They wanna,
Well, you
like
gotta
I said,
have,
it works now. So,
what, how does this work?
so what you're looking at, if we were to buy the printer, it would be $4,749.
Oh, that's.
Want to do a
oh.
monthly fee. Yep, that's to purchase it. If you want to do the monthly, it's a 5-year monthly and it's $102.34. And
And what comes with the monthly fee?
Maintenance. Oh,
the maintenance comes with it. They still do all like you guys have now. They supply the toner, they come out and they service it and stuff like that.
Do they put, I mean, do you get your copy fluid or whatever, the toner or
The
whatever?
toner, they supply the toner.
And
so just like they
that's
do
in the
right now.
102?
Yes,
That's in the 102.
that is in the 102. So the second
Why we
page
paid so
is,
much
Seems-
a couple of years ago with all that.
I know. I seems kind of like, we should do this.
but the printer's still working.
So
at this
it's-
point.
so
Yeah,
no
right.
charge for
Yeah,
shipping of
yeah.
supplies
You're
for the
right.
toner and staples. if we wanted to put Staples in there. Because there's another one here that says all the benefits of the state contract. Maintenance agreements is locked in rate for the duration of the rental period. Maintenance
right.
agreement is billed per page. There's no base amount.
That's 60 months,
It's 5 years, yep.
you know.
and this isn't Rico, our printer's through Rico right now, right?
It is a Rico, but it's Metro Sales, yes.
Oh, okay,
Metro Sales is the
Metro.
person we call that has the contract.
okay. So as long as we're okay to bow out of this current one, they come pick it up.
That one's no, I can't remember if that's our problem now or not. Cause I think that's our printer.
Oh, is it really?
I think so. All I do is pay for the copies. So,
I,
okay, they pick up and return of copier at the end of the term. So. Gosh. We went without going out to bid, pre-negotiated contract. Open contract. I'm thinking they take care of this one, disposing of this one,
okay,
I think. I'll double check.
yeah, double check. Other than that, I'm perfectly fine with going with the lease with the state contract.
But like Amy said, we might as well wait. I mean, the printer might run another year,
Well, it could, absolutely.
you know, I mean.
It can run another year. I mean, it's working.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
You know?
I definitely agree with going with the leasing as soon as this one breaks.
Yeah.
Jump on that and get it.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, yep,
Okay,
yep.
so we'll just kind of hold off and when it dies, we'll just take care of it then.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're without a printer for a day or two or whatever,
Yeah.
it's not the end of the world. So, okay.
All right, water billing, monthly, when to start? What's kind of up to you? Isn't it?
Well, no. I would like to start at the first of the year.
That's what she meant. We gotta do that resolution to start the first of the year.
Yeah,
We talked about that in the budget meeting.
yeah, I'll have to do a resolution, but that's why I wanted you guys to kind of think about
Oh,
when you
okay.
want to start monthly billing. I know we've talked about it. Do we want to start it on the first of the year?
That makes sense.
No, that's when you start,
But
that's when you send the first monthly bill out, or is that when?
see now, because we talked about this and I don't remember how we did it. Because we have to bill October, November, December
Yeah.
and January first. So unless we do that and then come February first, we send out January's bill, we'd have to give them a little grace. You know, so there's gonna be a,
There's gonna be a couple days that are gonna.
right,
overlap.
so,
Well, there always is every month, because we can never read them.
right, but I mean, they're gonna get a bill for, like, my bill's like 230 or something like that a quarter, so I'm gonna get a bill January 5th, say for 230, and then in February, I'm gonna get a bill for a third of that. What is that?
$75,
$75.
whatever it is, yeah.
So we're gonna have to come up with some solution to those that have a higher bill in January to give them extra time. I haven't really been doing a lot with penalties. I've been kind
I
of,
see what you mean.
I mean, I send out, the past dues, but
Maybe we need to discuss that one a little more, just you and I, and come up back.
maybe come up with a plan on how we can do that. If
Right.
council wants to do monthly, John and I can figure out a way on how we can
Because
get that started
I
and,
think I asked this question, we've talked about it before. You've checked with Banyan yet, and you say that conversion is not difficult, is that,
it's not difficult at all.
okay?
No, Heidi, I talked to Heidi and she'll walk me through it.
Because that will have to be coordinated
Yep.
to, before the billing.
Cause we would have to do, the one billing and then,
Okay, so
so,
the quarterly billing that we'd be sending out for the last quarter of this year in January isn't due until March.
February 25th, which makes
February
0 cents to me. We give them almost 2
Yeah.
full months to pay the bill.
Yeah, okay, so
So,
I guess that's where I'm going is that.
Yep. So
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a hard time.
what we could do is
No.
do that. So as is now, the last billing or the billing for the last quarter in 2024, which would be October to December, that would be due February 25th. Start the monthly billing on March 1st. That way they should have their old bill paid. And now you move it right into
But now you're billing January, February, and March. Now you got 2 months.
oh, duh,
Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah.
So,
So much for that one shot down.
so,
okay, it's getting late.
The only way
there-
to,
Is there a way that you could bill in you split that last quarter into 2 months? Is there any way that we could do that? And then you're still paying the same amount, but you're not, I don't know, is that something that's possible or is that
Yeah,
impossible?
we could, that would, we'd have to work with Banyan on splitting because right now our charges are per quarter.
Or
We'd have to split that.
we're saying that we're gonna bill monthly for January. You get that bill in February, it's not due until the 25th of March.
Nope, because you got your other one coming in March. So once you bill monthly, you're not gonna be able to give them
Oh, but you just give them the 2 weeks, 2 months.
for the first couple months until they get caught up. And then come like March, everything's due on the 15th or what, 20th or whatever you want to do it.
Well, I'm just saying, I guess what I'm trying to draw the same analogy as our quarterly billing. We give 2 months
Mhm.
now to pay that. Moving into the monthly billing, couldn't we give 2 months to pay each month bill?
No, because
All the
you're
way
gonna
through the
end up
year.
with people that are thousands of dollars behind. The whole idea of going to monthly is to avoid having
Figure.
an $800 bill that
Uh,
they can't pay, and then pretty soon you've got a $1,200-1,300 bill.
I get it, but we're gonna have that anyway.
Right?
You know, I mean, we're gonna continue to have that problem with the same people probably.
Mhm.
And so,
We just have to work out a payment plan the first of the year.
Well, and if we
Yeah.
kind of, and that's what kind of we did last winter when I was trying to get everything paid up too. We did we sent out those letters, and I think if we can figure out when we want to do it and get enough notices ahead of time,
Mhm.
that, stressing to call City Hall and set up a payment plan, let us know what's going on.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm. Yeah, if you let everybody know ahead of time, you're gonna get a bill in February, you're gonna get a bill in or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Just say, we know the transition may be difficult if you need to set up an initial payment plan
So really,
good idea.
the last quarter.
Good idea. Just the way she said.
You're gonna get a bill in January for October, November, December. You're gonna get a bill in February for January.
Both due the same day.
You know,
Basically, yeah, but the council can, waive that penalty or waive, whatever. Like I said, we're not real sticklers on that penalty fee. The
Okay,
way Banyan is set up, it doesn't always give penalties. I'm not sure why, but.
Yeah, I think that would work. People would probably appreciate that.
Mhm.
I agree. What she said, I think that sounds good.
So we'll work on it and we'll present something in October.
Then that'll be a resolution.
it's just gonna
Yes.
take a month or two to get everybody in the flow of it and hopefully everything.
It's gonna be a complaining system because there's a lot of people that love quarterly because they don't have to deal with it but 4 times a year. You know,
Correct.
nice bill, you only get it 4 times a year.
Yep.
It's so nice,
And then there's those that forget about it and all of a sudden it's due and now they've got everything else to pay and they just can't,
yeah.
they can't pay it and
They haven't,
life happens.
they haven't budgeted for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's harder to pay it. It's easier to pay something if it's due every month.
I'll appreciate monthly.
So,
All right.
okay.
Switching to Fidium.
So they're putting that fiber optic in. Does the city want to check into going to fiber optic when it's available?
Yes,
Thank you.
will we?
How do you?
Well, basically, I can go on the consolidated website and you sign up for the access and they'll let
Yeah.
you know when it's coming and then you can. I've
Yeah.
already done that for my house. I
Okay.
So are they
Yep.
keeping the old
Me too.
or,
don't know.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm thinking, like, isn't there,
cause they never even dug any up by me.
oh, they didn't? Oh,
They went, they came in from behind Jason's and all that and came up to Cleveland's. That's as far, so.
Hmm.
When they do mine, if I ever want, where's it gonna come from?
You don't get it.
You're on that side of town.
Cause mine comes way out by the field. There's a box out there yet.
Huh.
They never bored anything into there.
Unless they're not gonna use that one, maybe. Cause they put up new boxes too,
Yeah,
I've noticed.
They put all new boxes.
Everything that's new
Yeah.
is where the fiber optic is.
Yeah, so do you have a new one? You don't have a new
No.
one anywhere near you?
No, because one is way down at the cul-de-sac.
Well,
So how are they gonna get it?
Well, They
from
might
there?
come that far.
Everybody but you.
They're gonna bore it all through everybody's yard again?
Mhm.
probably. Are they
If
done though?
if you give them the
Say.
permission to go into your yard, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to go from the cul-de-sac way up
Yeah.
there to my house,
Yeah,
so they're
well,
gonna have
but
to
if
go
you sign
through.
up,
I know,
I
they
don't
might,
know.
I know they might, it's
Sign
all
up for early
underboard,
and
it's
then
all
they'll figure
boring
it
at the
out, yeah.
ground, so, it's really not anything you see on top. They do a really good job. I haven't seen a thing bad with their work
So-
yet.
They're done with the boring. That crew is gone and out. Now the next step is that you probably seen the Wire World guys around everywhere. They're splicing everything in the boxes together,
It's all
and then from
looped.
there, then consolidated or Fidium or whatever they want to call themselves now. They'll send their workers to actually bring the lines to houses. So I'm sure they'll just be doing that with their little cable plows like they do now. It's just gonna be a matter of where the new cable comes from.
So like on Shabbat Street there, where does that come from? Like Harry Hines and the one at the end of the street.
Way
West.
down, it ran behind all the houses between Tom Bruns's or Dylan Brunt's, like right here, they ran all up that way.
Yeah, but where does this guy get his? Where in the end?
That,
There's gotta be a box right there.
there isn't. They didn't bring any in there,
Okay. Well,
cause I questioned that too, and there's a box way back there, and that's where my
yeah,
internet
but
comes
that's not
from.
one of the fiberglass ones.
No,
Yeah.
it ain't the new ones. That's why, so that's what I'm saying, are they gonna have to? Anybody like mine or Cleveland's, they're gonna have to come all the way from that,
I don't know.
I don't know, that's a lot of digging you have to
Yeah.
do.
They would have to go all the way around.
They're
the
gonna have to
street.
go underneath the street. Yeah, it's,
They might bring the boring machine back in too. You never know.
you'd think they would have thought ahead on all that.
Well, anyway, getting back to this, we need to do something because the internet in town is horrible.
Mhm.
And so, you say the Red Iron has it already. They're
That's what
already-
Jason told me.
Okay,
So evidently there was a box there and they came across the street because they had to have it with their pumps or something.
yeah, I believe that.
So, yeah,
There's a few other houses that had it too,
are there?
when they fed,
Oh,
that were working from home.
oh,
okay.
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, clerk mileage reimbursement. Any questions, problems? Someone want to make a motion to approve?
Make the motion to approve.
Second,
Second,
all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Any other business? I can't think of any.
Neither.
There a motion for an adjournment?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. Everybody.
Thank you.